The cold darkness of space stretched endlessly before the Xylarian armada. Stars shimmered faintly, distant and silent, as the massive alien fleet moved through the void. The flagship, Oblivion, led the way, dark and imposing, its hull glinting under distant sunlight. Inside, Admiral Threx surveyed the command bridge, his multi-eye gaze scanning screens filled with data, star maps, and sensor readings. "This system is almost within range," Threx said, his voice sharp and commanding. "Our scouts report minimal defenses. Prepare the strike fleet. We will show this planet the meaning of fear." An officer, a nervous Xylarian with shimmering scales, stepped forward. "Admiral, the scouts report unusual energy signatures. They're unlike anything we have encountered before." "Caution, caution!" Threx snapped, his claws striking the console. "We have conquered hundreds of worlds. Do you think a blue planet with simple life can stop the Armada? Send the strike fleet forward. Let no hesitation weaken us." The officer swallowed nervously. He had served in countless campaigns, seen entire civilizations fall before the Armada. Yet something about this planet, something in the energy readings made him uneasy. But fear was dangerous here. Disobedience even more so. The Armada surged forward, a river of dark ships cutting through space. Long and sleek, their designs were made for destruction. Each ship carried weapons powerful enough to erase continents, shields strong enough to withstand bombardment, and crews trained for war. They were confident, as always. Confidence had won countless battles, and arrogance had never failed them. Yet as they approached the solar system, the first hints of doubt appeared. The blue planet below glowed with oceans and continents, storms rolling across its surface in endless cycles. Cities shone faintly from orbit, lights forming patterns the Xylarians could not immediately understand. Something about this planet felt different. "Admiral," the officer whispered again, "these energy readings, they are precise, controlled. There is intelligence, calculated patterns. Perhaps the legends are true." Threx turned sharply. "Legends? Do you mean the stories we heard from ancient scouts? Stories of a species that survives impossible odds? Nonsense. There is nothing on that world that can challenge the Armada. We are the supreme force of the galaxy." The officer hesitated. "Yes, Admiral, but caution enough." Threx roared. "I do not need caution. I need victory. Victory will come, and Earth will kneel like all the others." Far below, humans were unaware of the approaching Armada. Yet for centuries, the legends of strange movements in space had been studied. Scientists monitored anomalies, preparing defenses. Engineers worked on ships capable of speed, maneuverability, and adaptability. Pilots trained tirelessly for scenarios that seemed impossible. A massive alien fleet, far more powerful than anything humanity had faced. Captain Alara stood on the bridge of the human command ship, Defiance, her eyes calm and focused. The fleet was small compared to the Armada, but humans were clever, resourceful, and fearless. Every officer, pilot, and engineer had trained for this day. "Captain, sensors are picking up unusual energy signatures," reported Lieutenant Mara. "They are massive. We cannot tell the exact number, but the scale, it's overwhelming." Alara nodded. "We expected this. Stay calm. Every ship, every crew member, follow procedure. We do not panic. We prepare. We adapt. That is our strength." Back in the Xylarian fleet, confidence began to show cracks. Small scout ships, sent ahead to probe the planet, reported strange disturbances. Patterns in orbital energy, rapid shifts in gravitational fields, and precise movements from what seemed like human ships, all difficult to detect and harder to understand. "They are hiding," one officer said. "They are smaller, but moving fast." "Their defenses," Threx interrupted. "Do not overthink. Attack with full force. Intelligence means nothing against the Armada. Fear nothing. Crush everything." The strike fleet surged forward, weapons primed, engines roaring. Xylarian warriors prepared for battle, their confidence absolute. Yet the farther they moved into the solar system, the more anomalies they encountered. Small bursts of energy appeared unexpectedly. Ships that should have been visible vanished, only to reappear in a different orbit. Patterns emerged that suggested intelligence patterns the Armada had never encountered before. For the humans, every anomaly was a warning. Pilots adjusted trajectories, engineers prepared weapons, and scientists monitored alien communications. The humans were ready, but they remained calm. They did not strike yet. They waited, calculated, and observed on the oblivion. Threx growled as his officers reported unusual activity. This is absurd. They are only small ships. They cannot pose a real threat. Send in the Vanguard. Let us crush them quickly. The Vanguard ships moved in, cutting through space toward the inner planets. The humans observed quietly. Then, suddenly, small vessels appeared from hidden orbits, striking with precision. Energy pulses disabled engines of several alien scouts. One by one, ships faltered, their crews scrambling to respond. Threx's eyes widened. Impossible! How can these primitive humans strike so effectively? They are clever, whispered the nervous officer. They anticipate. Our moves, no. Threx snapped. They are weak. They are unimportant. Attack. Destroy them all. But the humans did not panic. Captain Alara's fleet moved like one organism, coordinated and precise. Small ships exploited weaknesses in alien shields. Larger vessels blocked flanking attacks. Every move seemed anticipated, every maneuver calculated. The Xylarian Vanguard faltered, engines failing, weapons offline. Hours passed. Yet the humans showed no fear, no hesitation. They moved with purpose, striking where needed, defending when necessary, and retreating when wise. Their strength was not in numbers, but in intelligence, adaptability, and courage. The Xylarians had never faced an enemy like this, Admiral, another officer said cautiously. They are not afraid. They fight with strategy, not just weapons. Threx slammed his claw on the console. Nonsense. Strategy is meaningless without power. We are the Armada. We cannot be stopped. Yet stop they did. The Vanguard faltered entirely, forced to retreat back to the main fleet. Ships that had been confident and aggressive now drifted, their crews confused and shaken. The humans had done something impossible. They had defended themselves against overwhelming odds. Using cleverness, strategy, and calm determination. In the outer solar system, the humans observed silently, learning from every alien movement. They studied the Xylarians' tactics, their strengths, their predictable patterns, and prepared for the coming attack. The humans were not merely surviving, they were teaching the Armada a lesson. Threx's pride began to crack. He had never faced defeat, never faced a species that resisted so effectively with intelligence rather than brute force. He realized, slowly, that these humans were not ordinary. They were clever, adaptable, and fearless. Every prediction the Armada had made had been wrong. Every assumption had failed. The Xylarian fleet regrouped, battered but still confident. They assumed the human success was temporary, a fluke. Prepare the main assault, Threx commanded. We will overwhelm them. They cannot resist the full power of the Armada. Meanwhile, humans prepared quietly. Captain Alara studied every movement, every sensor reading. They will come, she said softly. We cannot match their numbers, but we can outthink them. We fight not only with weapons, but with mind and courage. That is what makes us human. In the shadows of Jupiter's orbit, human destroyers waited. In the asteroid belt, stealth ships hid. Every move of the Xylarians was observed, analyzed, and countered. The humans' calmness and precision contrasted sharply with the aliens' arrogance and haste. As the Vanguard regrouped, their losses clear, whispers spread among the Xylarian ranks. These humans, they are stronger than expected, one officer muttered. Threx's claws tightened round the console. No species can withstand the Armada. He growled. No species. Prepare the main fleet. We will crush them, or die trying. But the seed of doubt had been planted. The humans were clever, fearless, and united. The Armada's confidence had been shaken. Pride, once their greatest strength, was now a potential weakness. The first encounter had not yet begun in full. But the warning was clear. Earth was not weak. Earth was not ordinary. And the humans, calm and determined, were a force the galaxy had never expected. The Xylarian Armada, proud and powerful as it was, would soon learn that pride can blind even the strongest. Arrogance can lead to downfall, and underestimating humans was a mistake that could cost them everything. And for Captain Alara and the human fleet, the day was only beginning. They had survived the warning, they had observed the Armada, and they were ready to defend their home, no matter the cost. The Xylarian Armada moved slowly through the cold void of space. The stars around them seemed small, distant, and silent. Admiral Threx watched the blinking consoles of his flagship, the Oblivion, with growing impatience. The readings showed the solar system ahead bright, alive, and glowing with energy. According to their scouts, the humans should be weak, unorganized, and simple. He had expected an easy conquest. This system holds no challenge, Threx said to his officers, his voice echoing through the command room. Send the strike fleet ahead. Let's see how fragile this world truly is, Admiral. The scouts have detected anomalies in the orbital defenses, one officer warned. Sensors show energy patterns we have never seen before. Threx waved dismissively. Anomalies do not make a planet dangerous. Prepare the attack. Let no hesitation weaken us. The strike fleet moved forward. Alien warships, long and dark, cut through the vacuum like predators hunting a slow prey. The Xylarians had conquered hundreds of worlds, and every battle had ended in their favor. Each crew believed victory was their right, not a challenge. But something about Earth was different. From orbit, the blue planet looked calm, peaceful, almost fragile. Oceans stretched in endless waves, cities twinkled in patterns the aliens did not recognize, and storms swirled in gentle cycles. Yet beneath that calm, energy pulses quiet, steady, and precise spread through the solar system. It was not wild. It was not chaotic. It was controlled, and the Xylarians could feel it on board the Oblivion. The human's presence was nothing but a number on a screen. Sensors reported movement in orbit, small ships appearing out of nowhere, disappearing, then reappearing in different locations. The Xylarians ignored it at first. They are weak, Threx said. They are small. They have no fleets worth mentioning. They are nothing but insects to be crushed. Meanwhile, across space, Earth's defenses were not idle. Captain Alara of the United Earth Fleet watched her screens with calm precision. She knew the aliens were coming. They had observed the strange vessels moving in the outer system. Her crew had trained for years for this moment, studying alien technology, predicting tactics, and preparing for chaos. Captain, the ships are accelerating toward us. A young officer said nervously. We are ready, but there are many of them. Alara smiled faintly. Numbers mean nothing if they cannot predict us. Keep the formation tight. Wait for my command. The first encounter happened suddenly. The Xylarian strike fleet sent a group of sleek warships forward, testing Earth's defenses. They expected humans to panic, to fire blindly, to collapse under pressure. But the humans did nothing like that. Out of nowhere, small human vessels appeared between the Xylarians and the inner system. They moved fast, almost too fast for the alien sensors to track. They struck quickly, firing energy pulses that disabled the alien ship's engines. One by one, Xylarian vessels slowed and drifted, unable to respond. Impossible. Threx shouted. How can these humans match our technology? They are primitive. Their weapons should be meaningless. The Oblivion sensors began flashing warnings. More human ships emerged from the asteroid belt, hiding in shadows, appearing where the Xylarians least expected. Each strike was precise. No human ship was lost, while alien ships were falling silently, their crews frozen in disbelief. Admiral, they are using tactical patterns we have never encountered. They anticipate our moves, an officer yelled. Threx slammed his clawed hand on the console. They are only lucky. Luck cannot defeat the Armada, but luck had little to do with it. Humans fought with strategy, intelligence, and courage. They studied the Xylarian formation and adapted instantly. They moved like dancers, weaving around alien attacks, striking when the enemy left gaps. Their small numbers became an advantage, their unpredictability a weapon. Alara's voice came calmly over the fleet's communication network. Hold formation. Do not overextend. Strike when the target is exposed. Her voice carried authority without anger. Every human crew followed her orders perfectly. Each strike was calculated, each maneuver flawless. The Xylarians began to realize something terrifying. These humans were not just strong. They were smart, fast, and fearless. Threx watched as the first of his warships exploded silently in space. He could see the humans now, their ships glowing with energy shields, moving with a rhythm he could not understand. "What is this sorcery?" he hissed. "No sorcery, Admiral," one officer replied. "It is intelligence, coordination, strategy. They are thinking faster than we can." The aliens did not know it, but humans had studied them for months, learning patterns, analyzing tactics, and predicting reactions. Humans thrived on unpredictability. Their thinking was fluid, not fixed. They did not rely on brute force alone. They used creativity and logic as weapons. A small Xylarian scout ship, the Raptor, attempted a surprise flank from behind the human line. It expected to catch the humans off guard, but a single human destroyer anticipated the move. It launched a precise energy pulse that struck the Raptor's shields, overloading its systems instantly. The alien ship drifted silently, dead in space, while the humans continued their formation as if nothing had happened. On the Oblivion, alarms screamed. Threx's pride began to crack. He had never faced a species that could turn weakness into strength, numbers into vulnerability, and fear into strategy. "Call the reserve fleet," he demanded. "Destroy them at all costs." But it was too late. The humans were already pushing forward, forcing the Xylarian ships to retreat slowly. Every move the aliens made seemed anticipated, countered before it could take effect. Alara observed quietly from the command bridge. Her eyes scanned the stars, calculating every possibility, every angle. "Maintain pressure. Do not provoke panic. Let them overreach. Let their pride betray them," she ordered calmly. The battle was not just about firepower. It was about thinking, anticipating, and staying calm under pressure. Humans had trained for years to act with precision. The aliens relied on strength and fear. That difference became the battlefield itself. Several hours passed, though to the Xylarians it felt like days. The alien fleet began to fracture. Some ships attempted to retreat toward the outer planets, hoping to regroup. Others continued fighting, unwilling to accept the humans' dominance. But every attack was met with calculated human defense. Every move was predicted, every gap exploited. Threx's fury grew. How can this be? These humans are supposed to be primitive. They are supposed to be weak. They are ordinary. One of his officers spoke hesitantly. "Perhaps, Admiral. They are extraordinary in ways we do not understand. They are unpredictable." Threx roared in frustration. "Unpredictable? Unpredictable is meaningless. We are the Armada. Nothing can stop us." Yet the evidence grew. Another of the Xylarian warships exploded silently, ripped apart by energy pulses from unseen angles. The humans never stopped, never panicked, never hesitated. They had no fear, only focus. Their resolve became a weapon sharper than any alien cannon. On board the human command ship, Alara watched the Xylarian leaders closely. She did not underestimate them. She understood that arrogance and pride could lead to mistakes. And mistakes were exactly what she wanted the aliens to make in the outer system. The humans set traps using asteroid fields, magnetic anomalies, and decoy ships. The Xylarians fell for everyone. They moved too fast, too proud, and too confident. Each misstep cost them more ships, more crews, and more time. By the end of the first encounter, the Xylarian armada had suffered losses that no human ship had experienced. Yet not a single human vessel had been destroyed. The aliens were forced to pull back, regroup, and rethink their strategy. Threx, humiliated but unwilling to surrender, watched Earth from orbit. The planet looked calm, almost indifferent, as if it had been waiting for this moment for centuries. He realized, for the first time, that this species, the humans, was unlike any he had faced. They were not just strong. They were clever, resilient, and fearless. Captain Alara allowed her fleet to relax slightly but kept a careful watch. "This is only the beginning," she said quietly. "They will return, and we must be ready. As the Xylarians retreated, whispers spread among their ranks. For the first time, they questioned their own pride. For the first time, they feared what humans could do when underestimated. And for the first time, the galaxy began to see Earth as more than a blue planet. It was a fortress, a trap, and a warning. The first encounter was over. But the story of humans and the Xylarian Armada had only just begun. And the lesson was clear. Never underestimate the species that fights not just with weapons, but with mind, courage, and unbreakable will. The Xylarian Armada limped back into the outer edges of the solar system, smoke trails of disabled ships marking their retreat. Admiral Threx's pride had taken a heavy blow. For the first time in his life, he felt the gnawing sting of doubt. The humans had not only defended themselves, but had done so with strategy and intelligence. Far beyond anything he had imagined. This cannot be, Threx growled, pacing across the command bridge of the Oblivion. His long claws scraped along the metallic floor, leaving faint marks. They are primitive. They are insignificant. How can they resist us with such ease? Admiral, our losses are substantial, one officer said cautiously. We underestimated them. Their tactics. They adapt faster than we can. Our formations were useless. Threx slammed a clawed hand onto the control panel, sending sparks into the air. No, there must be a mistake. Prepare the reserve fleet. We will strike again. This time, we will overwhelm them with everything we have. Meanwhile, Earth's orbit was alive with motion. Captain Alara watched her fleet glide through the blackness, their energy shields glowing softly. Her crew was tired, but disciplined. Each officer knew their place, and every ship moved with careful precision. Alara, their main fleet is gathering in the outer system, one of her officers said, tension in his voice. They may return in full force. Alara nodded calmly. Let them come. They will make mistakes. They always do when they underestimate humans. Humans had observed the Xylarians for months, studying their behavior, their arrogance, their reliance on brute force and predictable patterns. They knew that pride often blinded even the most powerful, and they planned to exploit it. Days passed as the aliens regrouped. Threx barked orders, trying to restore confidence among his commanders. We are the Armada. Fear is for the weak. We will show them the price of defiance. But confidence was brittle. Every officer knew that the humans had destroyed ships faster than anyone could have predicted. Every failure haunted them. The Xylarians' pride had been shattered. They were still strong, but their certainty of victory had been stripped away, replaced by caution and fear. When the humans received intelligence about the returning fleet, Alara convened her officers. They will attack with all their power, she said. We cannot match them in size, but we can outthink them. Every ship will have a role. Every officer will know exactly what to do. We fight not just with weapons, but with our mind and our will. Her words were simple, yet they carried authority. The human fleet responded with quiet determination. Engineers recalibrated energy shields, pilots practiced maneuvers, and scientists analyzed alien technology for weaknesses. The Xylarian fleet approached once more, this time with more ships, more energy, and more confidence. They expected humans to scatter, to panic, to be crushed under the weight of raw force. Target the outermost colonies first, Threx ordered. Crush them quickly. Show no mercy. As the alien fleet advanced, humans launched a series of decoy probes. The probes emitted energy signals mimicking the patterns of small fleets. The Xylarians detected them and assumed they had found the humans' weak points. They surged forward with speed, eager to strike. But the humans were ready, hidden in asteroid fields and behind planetary shadows. They watched the aliens approach with silent calculation. When the Xylarian ships entered the trap zone, energy pulses erupted from multiple directions at once. Shields flared and exploded, engines faltered, and chaos rippled through the alien lines. Threx roared in frustration. Impossible! How can they strike from everywhere at once? Where are their ships hiding? Alara's calm voice echoed through human communications. We strike where you least expect. We fight where you are weakest. You are predictable, and we are not. The Xylarians were forced to split their fleet. trying to protect their damaged ships while continuing the attack. The humans used their knowledge of alien tactics to anticipate every move. When a Xylarian ship tried to flank from behind, a small human vessel would intercept. When another attempted a frontal assault, energy shields from hidden human destroyers would block and reflect the attack. It was not brute strength that defeated the aliens, it was coordination, intelligence, and foresight. The humans moved like a single organism, each part aware of the others, anticipating needs before they were even spoken. The Xylarians, powerful as they were, could not match this level of unity and strategy. Ours turned into a tense standoff. The Xylarian fleet was larger, but disorganized, damaged, and demoralized. The humans pressed forward cautiously, exploiting every weakness. Ships that had appeared invincible were suddenly vulnerable to well-timed attacks. Systems failed, weapons overheated, and commanders realized that their assumptions about humans had been fatally wrong. On board the Oblivion, Threx's frustration boiled over. We have strength, numbers, and experience. Why can they resist us? Why do they fight like gods? Admiral, one officer said carefully, perhaps their strength is not in their weapons or numbers. Perhaps their strength is in their thinking, in their courage. Threx froze, realizing the truth in those words. He had fought countless battles, won against countless enemies, but never faced an opponent like this. Humans were fearless, intelligent, and adaptable. Their unpredictability was a weapon the Xylarian armada could not counter. Alara watched from her command ship as the aliens struggled. She knew the Xylarians' pride was their weakness. They relied on power, assumed victory, and underestimated humans. Every strike she ordered was designed to teach them that arrogance was dangerous. In the chaos of battle, a young human pilot named Kieran maneuvered his small ship through the wreckage of alien vessels. He had been trained to think fast, react faster, and never fear death. Using his ship's stealth capabilities, he disabled a massive alien cruiser by striking its weak points with precision. The cruiser spun out of control, engines failing, before drifting silently into the void. Alara, we have disabled their flagship's engines. Kieran reported over comms. The Oblivion is struggling to maintain formation. Good work, Alara replied calmly. Keep pressure, but do not overextend. We fight to survive, not to destroy everything blindly. Let them make mistakes. The humans' restraint frustrated the Xylarians even more. They expected total annihilation, yet the humans never attacked recklessly. Every strike was deliberate, calculated, and precise. The humans were patient, while the aliens were furious and impulsive slowly. The battle began to turn into a complete reversal. The Xylarians, once confident and proud, now struggled to maintain their formation. Their losses mounted, morale fell, and fear began to replace arrogance. Ships drifted, crew members panicked, and commanders shouted orders that were impossible to follow. Threx realized something terrifying. The humans were not just defending. They were teaching the Armada a lesson. Every counterattack, every maneuver, every strike was carefully designed to show that brute force alone could not conquer this species. Retreat is necessary, Threx admitted quietly to himself, though he would never say it aloud to his officers. Pride still demanded he appear strong, but he could feel the truth. The humans were superior, not in size or technology, but in spirit, courage, and mind. Alara observed the retreat. She allowed the Xylarians to escape, carefully maintaining a balance between dominance and mercy. The humans were strong, but they did not seek total destruction, only to protect their home and send a message. As the aliens withdrew, whispers spread among their ranks. For the first time, they questioned their own power, their own pride, and their own assumptions. The Xylarian Armada had been taught a lesson that would be remembered across the galaxy. Humans were not to be underestimated. Humans were dangerous, clever, and unyielding on Earth. Celebrations were quiet but filled with pride. Humanity had faced one of the most powerful alien fleets in the galaxy and survived. They had proven that courage, intelligence, and strategy could overcome sheer force. Captain Alara addressed her crew, her voice calm but proud. Today, we defended our home. We showed that humans are not to be underestimated. Remember this lesson, and prepare for the future. They will return, and when they do, we must be ready. But we are ready because we fight not just with strength, but with mind, with courage, and with unity. Her words were simple, but they carried power. The humans had shown the galaxy that Earth was protected by a species unlike any other, fearless, intelligent, and unbreakable. And the Xylarian Armada, proud and powerful as it was, had learned that lesson the hard way. For the first time in history, humans were not just survivors, they were legends in the making. And the galaxy would never forget the day Earth's defenders proved that pride alone could not conquer ingenuity, courage, and the indomitable human spirit. The Xylarian Armada had retreated to the outer edge of the solar system, but their pride was shattered. The battle with Earth's defenders had left the Armada wounded, confused, and filled with a new, uneasy respect for the humans they had once considered insignificant. Admiral Threx paced the bridge of the Oblivion, staring at the stars and the bright blue planet below. Earth seemed calm, almost indifferent, as if it had waited centuries for this confrontation. "We underestimated them," Threx muttered, his claws clenching the control rail. "We attacked with arrogance, and they crushed us with strategy." One officer dared to speak. "Admiral, they are not just strong. They are clever, coordinated, fearless. Our strength alone is meaningless against them." Threx turned sharply. "Fearless, clever? No species should be fearless before the Armada. They are human, they should have crumbled like all others." The officer did not respond, for the truth hung heavy in the air. Humans were different. They were unpredictable, united, and resilient. Even the most powerful alien war machines could not break their spirit. Back on Earth, Captain Alara prepared her fleet for a possible counterattack. She knew the Xylarians were proud and vengeful. Retreat was temporary. Her fleet, however, was ready. Ships repaired, weapons recharged, shields strengthened, and crews alert. Every pilot, officer, and engineer had learned the human strength, patience, intelligence, and courage. "Alara, sensors show they are regrouping," reported her communications officer. "They may attempt another strike soon, larger and stronger than before." Alara nodded, her face calm. "Let them come. They will make mistakes. Pride blinds even the strongest. We fight not with anger, but with understanding. Let them show their weakness." For days, the Xylarians waited, repairing ships, debating strategies, and reconsidering what they knew about humans. Many questioned Threx's orders. Some wondered if retreat meant defeat, but no one dared voice it. Pride and fear clashed within the Armada, and the humans could feel it. When the Xylarians finally moved again, it was not in unity. Their fleet was fractured, hesitant. They advanced cautiously, expecting humans to strike blindly, to panic under pressure. But the humans had prepared traps, using the outer planets and asteroid fields to mask their movements. Captain Alara watched quietly from the command bridge. "They move with caution," she said softly. "Their fear is growing. Let's show them the cost of arrogance." The human strategy was simple but deadly. They used their smaller numbers to their advantage, drawing Xylarian ships into zones where alien formations could not function. Energy pulses struck from unexpected angles, disabling engines and shields. The Xylarians had to split their forces, leaving some ships exposed. Threx shouted orders furiously. "Concentrate fire! Protect the flagship! Crush them!" But no concentration of force could overcome human strategy. The humans were everywhere at once, or so it seemed. Ships appeared from behind asteroids, out of the shadows of gas giants, and even from unexpected orbits, striking the alien fleet with precision. One by one, the Xylarian capital ships began to fail. Engines overheated, weapons jammed, shields flickered, and crews panicked. The humans, small in number but unstoppable in coordination, disabled each vessel without unnecessary destruction. "Alara, we have trapped their main fleet in the asteroid belt," reported Lieutenant Mara. "They cannot escape without severe losses." "Good," Alara replied. "Hold them. Let them see the consequences of pride. Let them learn respect without total annihilation. We are defenders, not destroyers." The battle reached its climax when the Oblivion, the Xylarians' flagship, drifted into the human trap. Surrounded on all sides, engines failing, weapons offline, it became clear that Threx's pride had led him to disaster. Humans communicated directly with the alien command, Admiral Threx. Alara's voice echoed through their comms, calm but firm. Your fleet is surrounded and disabled. We will not destroy you, but further attacks on Earth will be met with decisive action. Surrender now, and you may leave with your lives. Threx's claws twitched with rage. He had faced defeat before, but never humiliation like this. His pride demanded he refuse. Yet logic, and the reality of his crippled fleet, forced him to consider the offer. Slowly, he raised his clawed hand. We surrender, he admitted, his voice low but steady, across the galaxy. The legend of humans was growing. Stories spread of their intelligence, courage, and the unbreakable spirit of a species that could face the mightiest armada and survive. Humans had not only defended their home, they had proven themselves apex in ways that brute force could never measure. On the human side, Alara's fleet did not celebrate with fanfare. Victory was quiet, disciplined, and dignified. Humans respected life, even the life of their enemy. But they had sent a clear message. Earth was protected, and its people were not to be underestimated. Threx was escorted to a human command ship for talks. He expected scorn, cruelty, or punishment. Instead, Captain Alara met him calmly, her eyes steady and unafraid. Admiral, she said softly, your fleet attacked without understanding. You relied on pride and power, assuming we would yield. You were wrong. You survived because we chose to show mercy. But remember this, arrogance before intelligence, force before strategy, will always lead to downfall. Threx felt a strange mix of relief and humiliation. Humans had spared his life, yet in doing so, had taught him a lesson he would never forget. Your species is extraordinary, he admitted, voice low. We underestimated you. We will not forget this, Alara nodded. Remember it well, respect must be earned. Humans will defend their home, their people, and their planet with courage and intelligence. Underestimate us, and the consequences will be severe. Back in the outer system, the remaining Xylarian fleet retreated in silence. Ships that had once been confident and aggressive now moved like shadows of their former selves. Crews whispered stories of humans who fought not only with weapons, but with mind, courage, and unyielding will. Pride had been replaced with respect, fear, and caution on Earth. Celebrations were quiet but filled with pride. Humanity had survived its first real test against the galactic power. They had shown that strength alone did not define supremacy. Intelligence, unity, courage, and adaptability did. Humanity had earned its place among the stars, not through conquest, but through wisdom and resilience. Captain Alara addressed her fleet. Today, we defended not only our planet, but our values. Humans fight not for destruction, but for life, for freedom, for survival. Remember this lesson: courage, intelligence, and unity can overcome even the greatest force. Today, we prove that humans are a species to be respected and feared by the galaxy. As the human fleet returned to orbit around Earth, ships gliding silently against the blue planet, crews felt pride, relief, and resolve. They had fought an enemy that considered them weak and emerged victorious. But more than that, they had earned the respect of the galaxy. The Xylarian Armada would remember this encounter. They had learned the hard truth. Humans were not merely survivors, not merely primitive, and not merely numbers. Humans were adaptable, clever, fearless, and united. They were apex predators in a galaxy that valued strength, but humans valued more than strength. They valued strategy, courage, and willpower. Admiral Threx would carry the lesson for the rest of his life. His fleet, once proud and confident, had been humbled. But in humility, there was understanding. In defeat, there was respect. And for humans, respect was the highest honor the galaxy could offer, or the most feared warning. In the quiet moments after the battle, as Earth rotated silently beneath the stars, Captain Alara looked out from her bridge and spoke softly. They came to challenge us. They thought they would dominate. Instead, they learned. Let them remember, humans are not weak, humans are not predictable, And humans are not to be underestimated. Earth stands, and we will always stand, as long as we remain united, courageous, and wise. Across the stars, the story of Earth's defenders spread like wildfire. Other species whispered tales of humans who fought with mind, courage, and unbreakable will. Generations would grow up hearing stories of the day humans faced the Xylarian Armada and won. The galaxy had learned a new truth: pride can be broken, arrogance can fail, and the mightiest armies can fall to a species that fights not only with strength, but with intelligence, courage, and unity. Humanity had not just survived, they had shown the galaxy what it meant to be truly extraordinary. And on Earth, life continued. Humans rebuilt, trained, and prepared quietly. They did not seek glory, only readiness. For they knew the galaxy was vast, the threats many. But humans had proven one unchanging truth: when Earth's people fought together, no force could break them, and no enemy could underestimate them again.